Hello, Nani.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. So we have a channel called Tried&Refused Productions that does like movie reviews across industries.
I know. I
And
think
this
I've
is
seen.
a much awaited episode, I must say.
Really?
Everybody has been waiting for us to have this opportunity, so thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
joining me.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on the movie coming out. Straight out of the water, I wanted to ask you, of the limited experience I've had with interacting with actors and stuff, they do constantly tell me it's a fickle industry that's dependent on results, and many people find themselves high and dry when those financial goals are not met. You've reinstated faith in Vivek. I personally loved Ante Sundaraniki, as many people would tell you online also. What made you reinstate that same faith in him with this project?
Because he delivered what I trusted him, and then he delivered with his first project itself. And then obviously my confidence on him has doubled. So the result didn't change it, because I know what he promised me, he delivered. So the result could be because of 100 other factors. But what I need to check is, was he able to do it or not? He did it. And so I was fully confident. So because of so many factors, it could have underperformed. But if he is going to deliver again, it's so many factors can not go against him again. That is a very rare chance. So, and I took that chance because I thought this has high chance of me delivering a very big one this time. Is even more now because of the odds or whatever you call it. So I didn't think at all that I'm doing any taking any risk or anything like that. I was absolutely confident, and in a way I think he's going to get the result of Ante and this one together this time. Yeah. At the box office.
In the box office as well. What I loved about the association with him and you was that I felt like Ante was like a genre of the rom-com which he had like turned upside down in his own whimsical way.
Yeah.
While watching the trailer, while I was watching elements of like Chitragupta and Yamraj and the elements of the superhero genre also in a way in its
vigilante mode,
vigilante mode. Has he also flipped the script with the good versus evil narrative through this film?
Yeah, this time he was very consciously wanted to make it a much more simple. You see, he's a very screenplay guy. Vivek cannot never make a film which is just point A to B to C to D is not
formulaic.
His he can do something which not of people cannot do, and which is play with screenplay. That's his strength. That's his love for the writing. But he was very clear that he did with Ante he went all out with that. So what happens is when a light-hearted film between two families and with 10-15 characters, you play so much with screenplay, it could be little confusing for us particular section of audience, because not everyone might get it, and we have seen that happen with Ante, because with so many characters, so many things happening at the same time, so many layers to the script, and then back and forth played in a very interesting way. So generally what people think that if it's a comedy, you just or fun film, it's supposed to be like not make you think so much. You just have a hearty laugh and then you go. The way he made an intellectual screenplay driven film with a light-hearted idea. So that was actually a very new kind of cinema. But this time he has very consciously made it wanted it to make it very simple and straight. But within this simple film also, you will see the mark of Vivek's screenplay or Vivek's brilliance. So I think it's a very good combination. I think this is the pitch where he can bring in bit of him, also make it very unique and simple and straight also at the same time. It's a good combination.
You can definitely see the sprinkle of his own elements in what could be simple. I think what people are most excited about is the combination of you and S.J. Suryah. I really wanted to know, because of the last 4 years I've been watching his movies, he seems like he's jumping off of walls in scenes. It's so much energy, and it's so unexpected on the things that he's doing. Sometimes wonder whether the actor was ready for what he's throwing at them. I wanted to ask you, is he does he improvise a lot, or is he very structured to what's written in the script?
He improvises a lot, but also just the energy of him. Like even if let's say we give him 2 lines from the paper, and he just said those 2 lines. Let's say he didn't improvise much, but something about him, it changes those 2 lines into something. The way we see it now, we would have seen it in a certain way in our head when we see it on the paper. But when he says it, it gets its own one twist, one tinge to it, and the way he plays it, he's the only actor who can be scary, and while being scary, he can make you laugh.
Hilarious, yes.
Yeah, so it's a very good combination. He brings in a certain energy to the screen. So even a scene which feels okay on the paper, he can fill it with life. He can make something out of it. So he has that kind of energy. So at the moment, I was like, when we started casting, and then we both thought of him, and we thought he's a perfect choice, and then we cast him. But now, after watching the film, me and Vivek sometimes think that what would we have done if we didn't get him?
Oh,
because
wow.
he's just not the right choice, but I think he's the only choice to play this role at this point of time.
That's amazing. I wanted to ask you, Nani, just in terms of imagery, it looks so cool when you've got this mask on and you've got a little kid who's drawing or sketching. The imagery of me seems like you're the voice of the voiceless, the chosen one, that kind of thing in the trailer at least. It might be tempting to have that superhero almost image of you in a film. Was that something that was already in the screenplay?
No, actually, if you see the film, you'll understand
Oh,
that it actually doesn't come in that point
Okay.
of view or that direction. It's done very interestingly. His projection of Suryah didn't go in that direction at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I know what the expectation on the film from looking at the trailer and all that, but you'll still be surprised with the way it'll all unfold. Yeah.
Because I got so little of Surya from the trailer of how his personality is.
Yeah.
I was only doing permutations and combinations
Correct, I
of
know.
how it
Yeah,
might go.
yeah. No, it's very, see that's what I like about this film, is that it's not very complicated. Actually, it's very simple and humble action film. We are not making simple and humble action films anymore, actually, from a long time. If we look at in our childhood, there were the action films even the action film which Bachchan sir is a part of, or Chiranjeevi or Rajni sir, all of their action films that guy used to be a normal guy like us. The father will be scolding and he'll have something with the mother, he'll only do his sister's wedding, something. It's fully relatable. It's like family will be like, and there'll be an emotional scene where we'll also feel. And then there will be a villain or some moment comes where he becomes the hero, right? So these are simple action films. Nowadays, more film. When we say action films, it starts with larger than life, and it goes bang 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 bang. It goes till the end, and then big action episode, and then you finish off the film. There is no relatability, and I think when there is relatability, the action works beautifully. And when there is an emotion, when you already relate to the characters, when their anger is your anger, then the fight has such a high. So I kind of I was missing those films. And when Vivek came and told me this idea, I was like, bang on, this is the film we've been, it's nostalgia in its own way, but at the same time, Vivek will make it very unique with the making, and we can relate. What happens, always people talk like they're two different things. They'll say, this is an action film, sir, this is a content film. Why an action film cannot be a content film?
Why can't be a marriage
It's a
of
great
both?
combination.
Yeah.
It's the best combination in the world, I feel.
Yeah.
So we try to crack that sweet spot.
Were you noticing sort of a template where there was just saturation of, say, action set pieces, but there wasn't a built-up emotion with the protagonist? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly. No, because action set pieces, we're focusing more on a visual high. And visual high comes with technique, with a lot of things, with staging, everything. But also, every visual will give you a lot more high if the purpose is very strong. If the heat before the fight begins, why the fight is happening in the first place, if that momentum is very strong, and if as audience you're rooting for that fight, the fight might not be that technically brilliant, but it'll give you a greater high than anything else. So,
Yeah.
so I think our energy should be focused into this part of it, where you need to make it relatable, or you need to feel that particular pain, where then you will hate that guy, whoever is a bad guy, and then you'll enjoy the fight when the hero comes in. It's very basic thing,
Yeah, yeah,
but very important
100%.
thing also.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but even with that, Nani, what I loved about the trailer, at least from an editing perspective, this is one of my biggest gripes with having grown up with Hindi cinema, which somehow still hasn't been cracked, is editing set pieces or the film to a score. When I was seeing the trailer with Jakes Bejoy's score, it was so beautifully edited to
Cut
the
to
action.
the action, yeah.
And that is an art in itself.
Yeah.
And I feel like technically brilliance with an emotional up would be
It's a
just
perfect combination, right?
right?
Like you said that Hollywood always does that. It'll always be cut to the music, right? And that is when the beat becomes, gives a great impact. And I think because see Vivek with his understanding of technique or his kind of cinema, he absolutely gets the new age cinema, and heart is the old school one. So I think that this combination is always delivers great films. Yeah.
I wanted to know from like a layman's perspective, say the person has the score, you're doing the action set pieces without the score,
Correct.
but is he making the shots knowing how it should be edited? Is the music director watching the edit and then formulating the score?
So what will happen is you have an action episode in your mind. You will be listening to some reference music to an English song or something, and whichever beat that is, whatever is giving you high, you'll try to put it on the online edit, and then you shoot it, and then you make a fight scene out of it. So then what happens is you send that video to the music director, and then he composes the music. He cannot exactly follow the editing beats because the editing beats are matched to a different song which
Yeah.
was in his head. So he will do a score which will roughly match to the mood of the trailer. So once he does the score, this trailer is sent back and now re-edited to the beat
Oh
points.
wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a process. This is A, B, C, and then you get the final cut, which goes well with the music.
Nani, you'll be surprised on how much of a rarity that is in most movies.
I know, I know, and we'll clearly feel it. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
Why did they not cut it? But yeah.
Nani, I wanted to just tell you what a beautiful image it was in the Filmfare Awards when you were standing with both your debut directors. I wanted to know, I've been speaking about this on the channel briefly, is, we constantly speak about new faces in front of camera, but we always forget about voices behind the camera, directors, writers who can bring a new syntax, new template to what has been going on for decades. Is that something that you really want to strive towards with Telugu cinema?
Yeah, no, because I really genuinely believe I'm not trying to just work with newcomers or anything like that, but I'm not having a difference between an old or new, or it all depends on the script basically. I'm at least not saying go new. I'm not already measuring anyone before they actually narrate my script. I'm only going with what I've heard. Does it resonate with me? And do their words have the honesty and passion which needs to make the movie? So these are the things I look at. Yeah, whether it's your fourth film or whether it's your first film, I won't be biased towards anyone basically. And I feel if you want any change in general in cinema, and I love Telugu cinema, and I know every few years we will feel the need to see a change in cinema, and that's only thing constant in cinema is the change, right? So how do you do it? And it will not happen once people get comfortable here with a few successes or whatever. Even for them to make great films, some new talent has to come and threaten them or challenge them that they will take over from now onward. So in this process, they'll have to prove themselves, and once they start proving themselves, you will up your game. So overall, it will be good things happening for the entire industry is what I really believe in. So
You're organically reacting to what you're hearing.
What I'm hearing and whatever I'm hearing, and then I go with a certain belief. I don't once I say okay to something, I don't doubt myself. I don't keep asking myself, did I do the right choice? Did I make the right choice? I'll tell myself that I made the right choice, and I have to make sure I made the right choice, and that's very important, I feel.
To see it through till the end.
Till the end,
Yeah.
till the day of the release.
Yeah.
After that, it's not in our hands.
You know, Nani, I must say that I'm also while reacting with, say, the audience when movies are coming week in and week out, I'm also seeing a sense of frustration come in with, say, an outdated template. Do you notice a sense of evolution in what is being consumed as well, where audiences are also craving for something new, something that seems more organic rather than what fits the mold of what is commercial cinema?
You're saying after watching films in OTT and all that?
I'm saying with Telugu cinema.
With Telugu cinema?
What I'm saying is that there have been a few films that have released that have been outrightly rejected
Correct.
by the audience, and it's reflective of content which is just not resonating with the audience. They have the IPs, they have the big names, they have the song and dance, but it's just not connecting. People aren't going to the theater.
Correct.
So do you think there is an evolution which is now going to make people probably channelize their energy towards?
Definitely, and no, and this evolution has been there forever. It'll once in a while it show up. That's all. There's a
Okay.
constant, obviously, from the audience side. And you know what? There's a very interesting, strange thing which always happens with them. No matter what, they're always in sync. Like how now, for example, I've seen one scene in edit room of Jersey, where I go into the railway station and I scream. Okay, and we were very confident. Everybody in the edit room were like, "Oh, once Nani starts screaming in the station, entire theatre will also scream," is what they said. And we were like waiting on the release day, on the morning show. We thought, okay, oh, it's going to be, and we were waiting for that scene. I was there in the theatre, and this was a multiplex, and I start screaming. Entire theatre goes pin drop silence. Okay, and we were like, we thought, and because there's rousing background score by Anirudh, everything is
Yeah.
catching up, and on the day one, it's obvious that when a score like that comes, when the hero is screaming and everyone also screams along with him, and absolutely no pin drop silence, and then the train passes away, and I stop, entire theatre started screaming. So we were like, okay, this is the pulse of this area, this multiplex or whatever. And evening we went to a single screen, okay, in a different area altogether. It's a different auditorium, no, it's not about someone starting,
Yeah.
everyone. It's an absolutely different auditorium. Absolutely same reaction.
Wow.
So it's mass or class or this or that. They are all in, I think, emotionally reacting to cinema. I think audience are all in sync. We need to get that kind of, and because the moment we detach ourselves from the audience and say we are the makers, you are the audience, I think we lose track. We need to remember that to become a good filmmaker, you need to be a good audience first. We are also one of them and they are one of us. And if we stop watching films like how they watch, then who are we making the films for? And that's the most important thing I feel.
You know, on similar lines, recently only Javed Akhtar spoke that a writer is doomed if he thinks ki mujhe pata hai, I know what the pulse of the audience is.
It's done.
Yeah.
The end. As I'll say, a lot of people, I also sometimes hear, sir, how many years I've been here? You think I don't know? They'll say, sir, if you've been so many years here, there's a high chance you don't know. Oh, because you've been away from them for too long.
Yeah.
You understood? Yeah. And if you're saying it out, that itself shows that you're not learning anything. You're not open to learning. So I think that's the very most important thing. Yeah.
Nani, I really wanted to ask you, especially what I have a sense of respect for your filmography, especially is because characters and their purpose in the film, especially women, I have noticed, have strong roles where they voice their opinion with their leads. And something that I really resonated with Dasra was, it was probably the first time I saw in commercial Telugu cinema where the girl was confronting the man and talking about consent, talking about agency. And this was, I'm telling you, I was seeing this in a theater in Noida, UP. And obviously a major Telugu speaking audience was sitting there and they were clapping. So I wanted to ask you, when you're with the director and the script, are these points that are in discussion with you of characters who are, say, romantic interests shouldn't be inconsequential to the main plot?
We don't discuss that, but we end up doing that because we believe in that. We are the, so we never really sat and say, like, let's project it this way because this is very important. Let's, convey this message to the people.
Yeah.
We don't work like that. But I think organically the kind of scripts my filmmakers write, or I okay those scripts, I think it is all comes from our belief system or our upbringing or what we understand is important. So that kind of reflects, and obviously when it reaches out to the audience in the right way, it feels very good. But never ever did we really sit and say that let's do this. It will be it's the right thing to do for the society at this point of time or something. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to do a great film, and automatically our thoughts reflect. So that's how it.
Definitely, all the Nani fans that I do interact with online, they're the most respectful and kind, so it's reflective of you as well. I hope you don't mind if I ask you this question. I always think that you're very receptive to criticism, feedback, and you've been dealing it for more than 15 years. With all this fiasco happening with the assessment of Arshad talking about Kalki, I saw your video.
Yeah.
You're just saying let's just move on.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
you didn't mean any ill will.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's such a sensitive?
No, but in fact, I shouldn't have
environment?
reacted for that
Yeah.
also. But let's just say for now that what Mr. Arshad first has said is blown out of proportion with media and social media, and what I've reacted is also
Yes.
blown out of proportion. So I think we both are victims here.
So
So
that's I must tell you, Nani, that's the top comment. Both of them didn't mean ill will, and everyone's losing their mind.
yeah,
That was the main point.
And I think nowadays, the social media, we just need something so that we can lage raho.
है ना, enrage
Munna
about
bhai.
and discuss.
Yeah.
Nani, I wanted to ask you, the last two questions I wanted to say was that you have somehow also not had the trappings of the star who always plays the good, righteous man. I've seen many interviews of stars who speak about they would think about, say, a character with negative shades, but with the right packaging, with the right justification. Almost like stopping themselves from saying that I won't play a proper baddie.
Happened with me for V.
It happened with you for V, right?
Yeah.
Do you think people were not receptive to you being the bad guy?
I was not. I think they'll be receptive to me because I think people's expectation on me was a little more than that.
Oh, okay.
They maybe with other stars, I don't know what would have happened, but they thought Nani promised us that he is playing a bad guy, but he also played safe. I think that is where they got hurt. I'm hurt in the sense that that's where they got disconnected with the film because they thought, oh, this guy is capable of playing the bad guy. This guy is in this point of time in the career. If someone can play a complete bad guy role in Telugu, they thought, oh, Nani is trying this, and they encouraged me with a teaser, with a trailer, with everything.
Yes, I remember.
They have said, Nani, you go do the bad guy, we'll come for the film or we'll watch the film. They were so excited about it. So in the film, when in the end I became the hero and actually the good guy only, so they were like, no, you cannot do this, is what was the instant reaction. Yeah.
So that's not going to deter you at all with what happened with V, right?
No, I understood. Actually, I understood. Now, next time, when I want to, play a bad guy, I'll do the possibly the most bad guy Telugu cinema has ever seen. Yeah.
Lastly, Nani, I wanted to ask you was that, you had so much of experience working on set. Do you have aspirations to direct?
I had in the beginning, obviously I've joined as an AD and then I've turned actor, but now with the kind of love I'm getting and where I've reached in my career, where I've understood, I've learned with each film, with acting or whatever, I'm enjoying this whole process so much being an actor. Now I am absolutely convinced that I was always meant to be an actor only.
Okay.
So it was that little interest you will get and how I started because of all that. So I think I'm a very good AD also. I'm a good assistant director even till today. I don't know if I'll be a good director or not, but I know for sure I'm a very good AD. So whichever film I'm acting in, I kind of be that AD to my director. I'll be that support system. I'll be that bounce code. And I want to continue doing this because I'm really enjoying this so much. I get to be a part of different worlds every 6-7 months. I get to be a character in a different story. And this is absolute dream for me. And so I don't want to really stop this thing or do anything. So yeah, no plans as of now.
No plans as
Yeah.
of now. Thank you so much for joining me, Nani. I must tell you, it was an honor, and I have the utmost respect for you on what you're doing with your filmography and work. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Absolute
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.